Hey friendo, what's going on? Steve here. Welcome back to Coming Out Raw. It's your Raw recap today for December 28th, 2015. Last Raw of the new year. Last show before the new year. Last show of the year, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, let's get right into it. This was an up and down show. This was a perfect illustration of why the show probably needs to be 2 hours. Because if you cut like 3 segments out plus a couple of the recaps, then you can have a really decent-ish 2 hours. First of all, we start the show with Vince McMahon. I think Vince realizes that when he comes back, they can ride some decent ratings. Last week was weak because of the Slammies. I think he was really trying to kick things off. He was trying to get some of that Vince Austin magic back where he's the big heel. The problem is Roman Reigns isn't really an Austin type face, and he can't really carry a segment, and so Vince was doing most of the heavy lifting here. He was cutting a promo on Roman. Roman comes down. Vince gets all up in his face, gets in his business. Roman sort of backs him up, and Vince falls, takes a bump. Stephanie comes down with some cops. They say arrest Roman, or no, she says arrest Roman. They say no, back up. They get into it. Vince ends up getting arrested for the majority of the show. He's in jail. They did a great mugshot with him, which was the highlight of the show for me. It was pretty funny. He comes back at the end. We'll get into that in a sec. The first match of the night was Neville beating Owens, thanks to help from Dean Ambrose. This is a fun match. Later, of course, Kevin Owens came back, put Dean Ambrose through an announce table in a really, really well done bit. This is a feud that's a lot of fun. It's really cool. I love both these guys. It's probably my favorite thing going on in the WWE right now. It's not NXT. And I really want to see these guys go all the way to WrestleMania with this. Maybe even later, fighting over the heavyweight title. It'd be nice. Maybe. Doubtful, but you never know. Maybe in a couple of years. Sasha Banks defeated Becky Lynch. It was my match of the night. I love that they're giving Sasha Banks time on the mic. I love that they're giving her long matches. I like Becky Lynch. This is a good match. There was 1 or 2 botches. The crowd was not into it tonight. I don't know what the fuck was up in Brooklyn or what they were drinking tonight, but they were not into it. They chanted boring a couple times. They were chanting CM Punk. They were chanting Daniel Bryan. You know what? Just fucking get into the show. If you're not into the show, that's fine. But have a little bit of respect for the performance. You know what? If you put the money down for a ticket, I'm all in favor of. You know what? They can do what they want. But to an extent, it kind of ruins the atmosphere. You know, chanting CM Punk, he's gone, he's done. You don't want to do this anymore. So fucking why are you bothering with that? That's my little soapbox, sandboxing, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, moving on. I hope they take Sasha Banks. I hope she gets her big WrestleMania spot this year. Probably not going to happen. I'm still thinking that's going to happen next year. Kalisto defeated Kofi Kingston, and then switching off, Big E defeated Sin Cara. I really hope this is setting up the Lucha Dragons for a tag team title run, even just for a little bit until the New Day gets it back. Because I think they deserve it. They're hard workers. They're really good spot guys. Sin Cara might be a botch fest tonight. He botched his shoulder. Looked like it popped out. Probably just for the story. I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. Then there was a Miz TV segment, or it was just a Miz segment, I guess, where a bunch of the jobbers came out. R-Truth came out. It was kind of funny. Big Show came out. Ryback came out. Zack Ryder came out. And I'm missing somebody. I forget who. They all came out and sort of declared whatever their intentions are. Big Show said, hey, I'm going to be in the Royal Rumble. He destroyed everybody. Then Ryback fights Big Show. Big Show gets counted out. He just sort of leaves. That match, that entire thing, which took 20-25 minutes, could have been gone. Take that out, take one of these, move one of these Lucha Dragon New Day matches, dump that over to SmackDown, and then you've got an hour saved. But they like the money, so whatever. Anyways, moving on. Only a couple more things here. League of Nations defeated Dean Ambrose and the Usos. Still not a fan of the Usos. Thought I might have been. Not. They're moving on to League of Nations. Don't care about them. I think last week with the Slammies, what they were trying to do with the League of Nations was kind of relegated to just sort of a whatever status. And so now this week they try to do what they did last week and make them seem like a much bigger threat. They really try to push them sort of in a main event manner. Did it work? I don't know. I don't really buy into the League of Nations, to be honest with you, because next week we're going to get Sheamus and Roman Reigns, their rematch. That was revealed at the end when McMahon came back. But before then, we had John Cena in his big comeback after his vacation, sojourn, whatever you want to call it. And I honestly thought he was going to get the US title back. I've been disappointed by Del Rio because he came back and I thought they had something going with the whole Zeb Coulter thing. Now, as you guys know, I thought that it was a really weird angle they were doing, but it was something. It was something to do with him, and I was interested to see where it was going to go, and then they just dropped it out of nowhere. So, and then now Del Rio's in the League of Nations, which I think is sort of a step down for him. So he hasn't really done much with the belt. Cena's back. I figured they were just going to put it back on him, but evidently they're going to have this go a little ways because it was a scrub finish. It was Cena was about to win. They tossed the ref out. Cena got rid of them, had them back. League of Nations came in, destroyed Cena. Reigns came down. No, the Usos came down. Reigns came down. And that's when McMahon came down. So Cena's going to get his U.S. title belt back. I would think probably at the Rumble. I really doubt they're going to have a title match before then. It was kind of a bummer because I thought that giving Cena back the U.S. title, I think a lot of people thought that the U.S. title open challenge was one of the highlights of Raw when it was going on because you never knew who was going to come down. It was great. It was that one tiny aspect of the Monday Night Wars that we all loved was who was going to come out next. And that was always the U.S. title open because it was like who's going to come from NXT or wherever and face Cena for the belt. And so I guess they're holding off on that. I hope they do bring it back. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I think you can get a lot more out of it before Cena decides to go for his 16th go-around with the big belt. So, yeah, that was Raw. It was, like I said, an up-and-down show. Perfect example of why it should be 2 hours and not 3 hours. Roman Reigns, they need to show more. They need to show more of what made him hot for that 48 hours when he won the belt. They need more of that. They need more intensity, less of him grinning and being, hey, that guy. Nobody wants to see that guy. We want to see the brutal guy. We saw a little glimpse of it today when he was at the end of the show. He was beating Sheamus with a chair. We need a bit more of that intensity. Whenever Austin was in the ring, he had that look of intensity. He had those eyes. And if they're trying to make Roman Reigns, he's not going to be the next Steve Austin. But if they're trying to make if they're trying to give him, he needs an edge. He needs an intensity. He needs something there that he doesn't have right now. And he had it for that brief period of time, and now he's settled back into that thing. And you can blame creative, you can blame whoever you want, but if he doesn't bring the intensity, then this is going to be a very, very forgettable and very quick title reign, I think. So I don't know. We'll see what happens next week. Triple H should be coming back. I'd assume at some point. We're still about a month away from the Royal Rumble. So yeah, still a lot can happen between now and then. Anyways, that was Raw. That was coming out Raw for the New Year. You guys celebrate your Happy New Year's, your New Year's Eve celebration safely, and we'll talk to you guys next week for the next coming out Raw. Be sure to check out Going In Raw. Just got posted yesterday morning, and then check it out next Sunday. And we'll talk to you guys later. Be sure to subscribe and like and all that good shit that we do here on YouTube. We'll talk to you guys later.